Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Sorry I'm crouching down to get into the frame. I've just set my camera up, ready to film the class, so I'm just squeezing myself into the picture. We have a 30-minute Vinyasa Flow class and we're going to be focusing on improving flexibility. So as well as flowing around, moving with the breath, getting you feeling good, we're going to be lengthening the muscles at the same time. So grab your mat, grab some water and we will get going. Okay my lovelies, we're going to start our class in the centre of our mat and making our way into our reclined butterfly pose. So just bring the soles of your feet together and slowly come all the way down onto your back. Let your hands rest onto your belly, let your eyes float closed. We're just going to take this starting position to gently warm up into the hips and to connect our awareness to our breath, to the present moment. So as you inhale here, I just want you to feel your hands rising up, the belly expanding beneath you. And as you exhale, feel your belly sinking down, the hands lowering as the breath leaves your body. And each time you exhale out, just allow your body to relax. Start to let any tension that you might be holding in your face melt away. Letting your hands rest heavy. Letting gravity open those knees out to the side. Just stay here, taking some nice deep belly breaths, calming the body and the mind. And slowly, one at a time, just draw the knees back together. A little rock from side to side. And then draw the knees all the way in. Hug them in towards the body and just give that lower back a little rock from side to side. Fingers stay interlaced around the right knee. Extend your left leg all the way down to the mat. Inhale, exhale, draw your right leg in towards the body. And maybe start to move it slightly from side to side, just waking up into your hip flexor. And from here, see if you can take your right hand through the inside of your right leg. We want to find the outside of the right foot. Left hand can stay on the hip. Just like to move a little deeper into the hip joint on your inhale. Draw your foot over your knee. And then notice how the shoulder is lifted off the mat. And on your exhale, just drawing it back down. Take some nice deep breaths here, in and out of the belly. And then slowly releasing, hug the knees back in towards the body, a little rock from side to side. And then your fingers stay interlaced around the left knee, extend your right leg all the way to the mat. Inhale, your exhale draws your leg in. Then gentle movement side to side, massaging into the front of your left hip this time. Finding half happy baby on our left side, left hand finds the outside of the left foot. You can stay here or you can draw the sole of your left foot over the knee. Draw your shoulder blade back down to the mat and your shoulder and take some nice deep breaths here. We'll start nice and slow today. And then releasing. Draw both knees all the way back in one last time, rocking your back from side to side. This time the hands are coming underneath the backs of the knees and we're going to rock. So just start to massage your back along the mat. Little rocks, we're eventually going to come to our boat pose. So just keep these going. One more. And on your next one, see if you can come up to your boat pose and balance. So your hands stay round the backs of the knees. Take a moment here to roll the shoulders back and down to lift the chest nice and high. And then maybe you can release the arms. Flexing into the feet. Your feet are in line with the knees. Palms are open to the ceiling. Maybe you can extend the legs. You've just got 5, 4, 3, good, 2, 1, hands underneath the backs of the knees. We're going to roll 3 times, and on a 3rd time, we're going to come all the way up to standing. That's 1. See if you can keep those feet lifted. 2, and on your 3rd one, all the way up. Maybe without the hands, maybe with the hands. Well done. We're a foot distance away from the top of the mat. Roll the shoulders back and down, switching the core on. Just draw your belly button back towards the spine. And we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. Roll the shoulders back and down, lifting into the chest, just finding standing cobra. And from here, just see how far your arms will move away from your body without bending into the lower back. Maybe widen your feet a little further out. They want to be about hips distance apart. And on your exhale, keep the arms where they are, just hinge at the hips. Take it all the way down into your forward fold. Let the arms follow. And let your body be super heavy and relaxed here. Maybe you want to bring in a little bit of movement. Maybe you want to bend into the knees or just hold in stillness. Just enjoy this full body stretch. And release, hands come to the shins or fingertips to the mat. Inhale halfway, lengthen the spine, hands down, step back to your high plank. Little pause. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back and down, lifting into the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Perfect. Take a few breaths in your down dog, holding in stillness or walking out that dog, whatever feels good for your body today. And on your next inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Keep your hips nice and square, flex into your right foot. Find a deep stretch through that left hamstring. Slow and with control, right foot steps between the hands, back heel drops. Press your palms together, inhale, rise all the way up, warrior one. Draw your right hip back, pull your left hip forward, and see if you can send your gaze up towards your thumbs. Lengthening through the arms, straightening out the elbows. Keep breathing. And on your exhale, hands come down to the heart center as you straighten out your front leg. You might want to step your back foot in just a little bit closer. Keep your hips nice and square and start to hinge forward. Left hip drawing down, right hip drawing back. And holding halfway, nice straight line from the crown of the head down to your tailbone. Keep the breath flowing. We're strengthening and we're lengthening here. You've got 3, 2, 1. Exhale, either place your hands down or onto blocks, or you can bend into your front knee. 1 inhale finds a little bit more length through the spine, so just open your chest, flatten out the back, and then see if you can keep that nice flat back as you release all the way down into your pyramid pose. Okay, we're holding for 5 breaths. So keep relaxing, letting your exhale take you deeper into this pose. Perfect, then sending the gaze just over your right toes. Start to walk your hands forward, left leg floats to the sky. We're going to keep our hips square, so focus on getting this stretch into your hamstring. Maybe your right hand comes round the back of your right leg to help draw it in for a few more breaths. Keeping that back leg nice and active, pointing up towards the ceiling. Perfect, step back as far as you can into your low lunge. So lowering slowly all the way down to your left knee, release the top of the foot. Perfect, on your inhale, we're lifting out of the hip crease and we're bringing the hands to the hips. So we're really going to focus on getting into the hip flexor, into the psoas. Perfect, so our left hand's going to stay on our hip and our right hand is going to reach down towards the right side. For a deeper stretch, maybe your left arm floats all the way up and over. You're staying lifted, drawing out of your hip crease. Maybe you can start to lift your gaze up, look up past your left elbow. Keeping that breath flowing. Either staying here or maybe you want to take a little twist. Left hand comes to the outside of your right knee. Right hand reaches back towards your left thigh, sending your gaze over your shoulder. Perfect, then release your hands all the way around your right foot. Exhale, extend all the way back. We're taking it into half splits. So you want to draw your right hip back, pull your left hip forward. See if you can pull those right toes up towards the sky. And same thing as in our pyramid pose. Inhale, opens the chest, finds length through the spine. We're going to see if we can keep that length through the spine as our left hand stays down. And on our inhale, our right arm opens, turning the chest towards the side. Notice how your right hip might want to lift. You want to keep it drawing all the way down. I'm going to do this 2 more times. As you exhale, lower your right hand down. Your inhale draws it all the way back up. See if your gaze can follow. Exhale all the way down. And inhale all the way up. Perfect. Exhale all the way down. Bend into your front knee, your back in your low lunge. Hands frame up your right foot. Tuck your back toes underneath, lift up the knee. Step your left foot up to meet your right foot. Inhale, halfway, lengthen the spine, open the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up standing. Big exhale, let it go, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Stepping back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Switching sides on your inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Keep your hips nice and square. Flex into your left foot. Plant your left foot between the hands. Drop your back heel down, press your palms together. Inhale, lift you all the way up into your warrior one. Pull your left hip back, draw your right hip forward and keep bending into that front knee. Well done. It's a lot harder than it looks, warrior one. Especially when you're pressing your palms together and you're staying nice and active through the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart, straightening out your front leg. So maybe you want to narrow the stance a little bit. Keep your left hip drawing back, your right hip drawing forward. Exhale, keep a nice flat back. You're going to hold halfway. But we're not holding the breath, just holding the pose. You've got 3, 2, 1. Exhale, either hands down or to your blocks. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the chest. Keeping that length through the spine, folding into your pyramid pose on your left side. Accepting wherever your body is here. Then sending your gaze over those left toes, start to walk your hands forward. Right leg floats to the sky as the body folds in. Your hips stay nice and square, which means you probably won't be able to lift that back leg as high, but we're focusing on that hamstring stretch, so that's good. Left hand around the back of the left leg, maybe as you draw in on your exhale. Stay nice and straight and lengthen through that back leg. Perfect, then gently release, step all the way back into your low lunge. Slowly lower your right knee down. Inhale, hands lift up to the hips, draw out of your hip crease. And we're keeping the right hand onto the right hip. we're drawing the left fingertips down. So you should feel it all the way through the right side. It should feel nice. Do you want to take it further? Your inhale takes your right arm all the way up and over, and you spin the chest open, look up just past your right elbow. Test the balance a little bit too. And then maybe you want to take it into your little twist from here as you exhale. Right hand comes down to the outside of your left knee. Left fingertips reaching for your right thigh. Sending the gaze over your shoulder. And slowly release, hands all the way around your left foot. Exhale to your half splits. Take your time, drawing your left hip back, pulling your right hip forward. Maybe your toes can point up towards the sky. And maybe you choose to hold it here. This is quite an intense stretch for the hamstrings. Or your right hand staying down, and on your inhale, your left arm floats towards the sky. And we're opening the chest. We're trying to stack the shoulders on top of each other. Keep your left hip drawing down. Good, exhale, lower down. Let that breath guide you into that pose, drawing up on your inhale. Exhale, lowering down. Last one, inhale, drawing up, lifting up your gaze, drawing the toes in. Perfect. Exhale, lower all the way down, bending into your front knee. Tuck your back toes underneath, lift up the right knee. Right foot meets your left foot. Inhale, halfway lengthen the spine, open the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, standing. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, stepping back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Well done, we're going to keep it flowing. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. This time stack your hips, so open your right hip over your left hip. Drop your right heel down towards your left glute. And keep your shoulders nice and square. If you want to take it one step further, then just look over your left shoulder, look up towards your right heel. Good, and then step your right foot all the way between the hands. Inhale lifts you all the way up into warrior two. One big inhale is just going to straighten out your front knee and bring your palms together. And one long exhale is just going to sink you back down into that warrior two. See if you can go a little deeper into that back hip. Flipping your front palm, inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle, maybe forearm to the thigh, left arm all the way up and over to begin with. If this feels quite comfortable, see if you can drop your hand down to the inside of your right foot. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Maybe you find your bind here. Half bind, full bind, opening the shoulder back wherever you are. You've got 3 breaths. If you're in a bind, releasing, reach your arms up, press through that right foot, inhale, let it draw you all the way back up to your warrior two. We're straightening out your front leg this time. Flip your front palm up towards the ceiling, reach forward, draw your hips back, find length through the underside of the body, and then exhale as you take it into your triangle. Maybe you want to rest your hand onto your shin or your ankle, or to work the core a little bit more, press the outside of your hand to the inside of your calf or your ankle. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked. Maybe you can lift up that gaze. Option to find a bind around the back. Maybe you want to find a full bind under the legs and straighten out. There's lots of options here. You can take this triangle pose wherever you would like it to go. From here, you can either stay in your triangle pose, or we're going to flow into half moon. You can keep your bind hand onto the shin or your ankle, flow all the way in and start to stack open those hips. Maybe your fingertips release all the way down, or you're using a block. Just embrace all the wobbles here. Focus on getting your left hip over your right hip and your left shoulder over your right shoulder. Couple more breaths. We're going to meet back in our warrior two. So see if you can land nice and gracefully, bending into that front knee. And exhale. Cartwheel your hands around your front foot. Stepping back to our plank, maybe 3-leg plank if you want it, or 3-leg chaturanga, back leg stays lifted, exhale. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Well done. Inhale, left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Exhale, drawing your left hip over your right hip, dropping your left heel to your right glute. Same thing here, maybe you can look over your right shoulder. See if you can see that left foot. This gets a stretch of your psoas muscle all the way up into your lower abdomen, and not just in the front of the hip. Sorry, it's hard to talk here. Good. On your next inhale, draw your left foot all the way forward. Open all the way up to your warrior two. Just one nice inhale is going to reach you all the way up, straighten out the front leg. And your exhale is going to sink you a little further down so you feel that stretch right into your right hip flexor. Beautiful. Keep the legs nice and still. Flip your front palm. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Keeping that core switched on, draw all the way up to warrior two and exhale into your variation of your extended side angle. Maybe you're coming all the way down into your bind. Wherever you are in your bind, just focus on having your top shoulder rolled back as far as it will go. So you're trying to open up the chest and draw away. So draw your belly away from the thigh. Try not to rest, just to make it that little bit harder. Good, keep the breath flowing wherever you are. And then release your bind, inhale. Press through your left foot, draw all the way up, back to your warrior two. We're straightening out the front leg, flip your front palm, reach forward. We want to find length through the underside of the body, draw your hips back. And then exhale, take that triangle pose. Wherever you would like it to go. Maybe you find your bind here, half bind or full bind. Maybe you need to use your hand onto the shin or your ankle for a little bit of support. And I always say if your neck starts to ache, then just send the gaze down. And start to think about how you want to move into your half moon. Are you going to release the bind, take your fingertips to the mat, or maybe you keep your hand onto your ankle for that extra challenge. You can step your back foot in, start to open up the hips, embrace all of the wobbles. Remember, it's just a pose. Good, keep breathing. I'd keep your gaze focused down before you start to lift it up. Really make sure you've got that balance first. Well done. We're returning back to warrior two nice and slowly. Coming all the way up, exhale, sink into your warrior two. Then turn your front toes in. So we're facing the long side of the mat. Inhale, palms together over the head. Exhale, thumbs to the third eye. Pause here. And on your next exhale, start to hinge from your hips. So just like we did in that pyramid pose, make a straight line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Maybe you can press your palms forward. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale all the way down into your wide leg forward fold. A few breaths here. Maybe you take the hands around the backs of your legs and draw your body a little closer down, bending your elbows out to the side. Focus on shifting the weight into the balls, into the toes of your feet. And keep breathing here, accepting wherever your body is. And slowly releasing, bringing the hands down, inhale halfway. We're just going to heel toe the feet a little closer in. So your heels are just a little bit wider than the hips, your toes are pointing out to the side. Bending into your knees, draw the hands to the heart center. So we're just finding our yogi squat here. One long inhale is just going to lengthen your spine, drawing your chest towards your thumbs. Maybe your eyes can float closed. Just take some nice deep abdominal breaths here. Breathing in and out of the belly. Really getting deep into the hips. Well done. We're going to come all the way to seated. There's not really a nice way to get out of a yogi squat. So come down to seated, however is comfortable for you. Just crossing the legs. Good. And then sitting up nice and straight, just finding one last little stretch here, taking your right hand down to the right side. Left arm comes all the way up and over, spinning your shoulder back and opening up the chest. Beautiful. Inhale draws you all the way up. Keep your left arm lifted and just take your left hand to the right side of the head. Walk your right fingers away and we'll just finish with a nice stretch into the neck. And then release, left hand comes down, exhale, right arm comes all the way up and over, spinning the shoulder back, opening up the chest. Both of your sitting bones stay grounded onto the mat. Inhale draws you all the way up, right hand to the left side of the head. Walk your left fingertips away. Let your face relax, let your arm be nice and heavy. And then gently release. Well done. One big inhale, just going to draw your palms together over the head. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Two more, inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Let's just pause here, take a moment to close our practice with gratitude. Send yourself that thanks, that gratitude for arriving on your mat today. Devoting this time to not just the physical body, but also the mind. Bow the head to the heart. Namaste.